Well, as growing up, and I'm embarrassed with the clothes I'm wearing now, he always said, if you dress like a slob, they'll treat you like a slob. And
I think, yeah, I think the part about what people take in from him is being genuine.
His values, number one value is his family.
He tried to help everybody. Didn't matter if they were what they need, but if somebody needed help, he'd help them.
I think he did this, I think he wanted to make people laugh to make them feel good.
Sure, he had character. He was, and believe me, our times weren't all good times, and and as you know, in sales, it is up and down. But I remember if there was a time that was a little bit down, that he really wouldn't appear that way. He'd make everybody else feel like it was the good times, and guess what? It turned right around. That's how it happened.
Well, his values speak for themselves, primarily when I mentioned about his family and the closeness of that family. You've got to have some pretty good values to have that kind of love in a family.
Oh, always thinking of the other person all the time. Just even when he came up for the PD meetings or whatever, he'd always pop in, "Hi, Paul, you need a drink? You need a soda? Let me carry your cane. You want me to carry you?" And I'm like, "Frank, get out of here." So, you know what, he was always positive. Just, it was fun to have him around because he was just like a light bulb, bam, just, always just lit up a room.
Frank, when he spoke to you, no matter who else was in the room, you really felt like you were the most important person in the room.
I'll tell you what, he was the guy. I hope somebody's, damn him for going first. I hope he was here saying good things about me, because I know that's all he'd say.
Frank's one of those guys that when you're around him, he makes you feel like you're better than you are. And then he makes you want to be better than you are because he makes you feel that way all the time. And so he's just absolutely contagious. So you never want to be around anybody else. You just want more and more Frank, because it's just this cycle of always making you feel better than who you are, and then wanting to live up to it, and it just perpetuates. And before you know it, man, he just gets in your blood very, very quick. It's hard to wean yourself off of Frank. I'll tell you that. It's crazy, but without even having to think about that, loyalty, and even. It's sales, and salespeople are high maintenance people, and so you'd see Frank do some amazing juggling acts to keep this rep happy and that rep happy, and always kind of trying to keep it light. But no matter, and he'd hold it to it. He'd come and look, you've got to do this. I mean, he made you step up to the plate a little bit, which is good. But I've never seen anybody go to bat. It was like, to see him go to bat for us over and over again, you would think it was a parent defending their own kid. I mean, it was unbelievable. So the sense of loyalty that he had for his staff and his crew, anybody that was a part of his team, boy, he would just, and of course he interjected humor in everything he did, so it just made it fun anyway. But I mean, beneath that surface, 2 or 3 levels down, you would find a sense of, and I don't know, for me, when I think of character, loyalty, it's just about the highest trait you can put on that list. I mean, you got a guy that's got some loyalty to you, man, you'll stick with him till the end of time. I mean, you can't ask for more than that out of a guy.
My family thinks that he was a great man, great man. He was, he was there more for me and in the short time that I knew him than a lot of my immediate family. And my family will always be very, very grateful for him for that.
Frank and Tony came out to our house a couple of weeks ago, and my wife and I had our nephew, Henry, over, and he's 6, and he's being a little bit of a pill. He's wanting to go outside and play, and we've got Frank and Tony over, and we've got company, so we need to be inside, to do a little bit of entertaining. And Henry's just keep on, let's go outside, and I finally, Henry, we can't, we've got company. Frank takes his shirt off, goes outside, finds a couple of oars and a stick and a bungee cord, an old blanket, and proceeds to build a teepee for Henry. And they just had the best time. Frank and Henry stood out there for a good half hour, and it was just the greatest thing. Later on, I thought, how come I didn't do that? And that's just the type of guy Frank was, that he'd take the time for anybody, small or large, young or old. he'd be one of those people that would do anything for you. So it made me feel good that he would do that, and that's something that, looking back, you know, I want to be that guy. So thank you for that, Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were looking for somebody to marry us, we were like, man, what are we gonna do? And we just thought, Frank, you know, he gets out in front of people, and he's always he's in front a group of people all the time. It should be no problem for him, but he was so nervous, and he spent so much time to get prepared, and he wanted to do it just perfect, and we knew he could do it. He's just so good around people. We liked his personality, and it just fit.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about it, was that, you know, he was willing to get ordained over the internet to marry these two guys, you know, and that's great. You know, it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's a neat thing.
Above and beyond.